there, I'm Coach Amy, Precision Nutrition Certified Nutrition Coach with Results Fitness, and the recipe I have for you today is sweet potato and blueberry breakfast bars. Now, these don't necessarily have to be eaten at breakfast, but they are a quick and easy option, for busy weekday mornings when you're on the run. You can certainly have them as a snack, maybe a dessert, or they even make for a really great pre-workout if you need a little bit of a boost before your workout. So to get started for this recipe, you will need 3/4 cup of mashed sweet potato, egg, vanilla, honey, butter or coconut oil. I was actually out of coconut oil, so I'm using butter today. Organic coconut flour, almond flour, baking powder, and blueberries. I already have my loaf pan greased and ready to go, and the oven is set to 350 degrees. So first thing I'm going to do is add the almond flour, the coconut flour, and the baking powder and mix the dry ingredients up first. So this one has more ingredients than I'm used to, so I have to use my recipe for reference. Most things I do are usually like maybe 3, 4, 5 ingredients. This one has a little bit more. All right, so 1/2 cup of almond flour. And almond flour, almond meal, pretty much the same thing. So, if you have one or the other, don't feel the need to, go out and buy the other. Just use what you have on hand. You can also make your own if you're feeling super ambitious and want to ground your own almonds. If you have that much time, I salute you. All right, and then 1/8 cup of coconut flour. So that's going to be about 2 tablespoons. All right, and then to this, I'm going to add the baking powder, which is 3/4 of a teaspoon. And 3. Okay, so I'm just going to whisk those together to make sure I get that baking powder in there. And almond meal can sometimes clump up a little bit, so you just want to make sure you get those big clumps out. They're easy to break up. I just like to usually go through there with a fork and it breaks them up pretty easily. All right, let's see. Next up, we're going to add the remainder of the ingredients. All right, so I have the dry ingredients. I'm gonna grab a bowl for the wet. Every time I think I'm prepared, I always manage to forget one thing, but that's okay. We're all human, nobody's perfect. All right, so to this, I'm going to add the 3/4 cup of mashed sweet potato. Now, 3/4 cup is gonna be about 1 medium, 1 large sweet potato. If you happen to have a baked one that you have left over and you scoop out the insides. I like to use, Trader Joe's has already frozen mashed sweet potato. They kind of look like little hockey pucks, and it's just straight sweet potato. There's nothing else in here. I just pull out what I need and let them thaw out overnight. Actually, I just threw some in the measuring cup and let it sit in the refrigerator overnight. Woke up this morning, it was perfect. So I'm going to add that. And these are just those little shortcuts, whatever you can do for convenience. Make healthy cooking, healthy eating as easy as possible. There's no need to overcomplicate it. All right, and then I'm going to add a tablespoon of vanilla, 1 tablespoon of honey. This is good too, if you're somebody who prefers something sweet for breakfast, this is gonna be much healthier than a donut or a pastry. It's sweetened with, honey. There's not a ton of added sugar to it. So this is a great option for those of you who like sweets in the morning. All right, and then my 1 tablespoon of butter or coconut oil. Again, I was out of coconut oil. Butter is perfectly fine. And crack 1 egg in there. All right, I'm just gonna mix that up. Make sure I break that egg yolk up. It's a tough egg yolk, doesn't want to break. All right, and then all I'm going to do are add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. It's a stubborn egg. This egg is like, he is not wanting to crack. All right, there we go. All right, I'm going to add the wet to the dry. You can also use frozen blueberries if you like. I prefer fresh, but again, if frozen is all you have on hand, don't make an extra trip to the grocery store for fresh. Just, you know, sometimes you just work with what you got. Again, make it as easy as possible. One of the best ways to maintain a healthy lifestyle is by keeping it simple. You know, we tend to, you know, find these crazy recipes or these meal plans, and they're so intricate and they're so time consuming, and nobody has time to keep up with that. So that's why, you know, people have a hard time or struggle with maintaining healthy habits. It all comes down to simplifying it. You know, make it as easy as you possibly can. All right, next up, I'm just going to spread this into my already greased loaf pan. All right, and these don't make very high bars. So, you know, when you fill this in, don't expect this to, you know, rise like a banana bread or anything like that. These are gonna be relatively squat bars. So that's what you're gonna be looking for. So you're just gonna fill the bottom of the pan the best that you can. I try to make it smooth and pretty. It doesn't always happen. All right, oop, looks like there's a piece of sweet potato skin in there. All right, and then I'm going to take my fresh blueberries and just press them into the top. So it's gonna take about a half cup. And I'm just gonna sprinkle them all over and kind of lightly push them into the dough. You could use as little or a lot. I like to jam them on there. I love blueberries, so I like to make sure that I get a blueberry in at least every bite. So I like to make sure that top is pretty well covered. And again, you don't have to jam the blueberries in there, just kind of lightly tap them down to make sure that they get into the batter. This is a very thick batter, so again, it's not like a banana bread where it's just gonna kind of sink in. You're gonna have to push it down in there. All right, and there you go. I'm just gonna pop these in the oven for probably about 35 to 40 minutes, and hang tight and I'll be back when those are all set. All right, I am back with the sweet potato and blueberry bars. This did take about 40 minutes in the oven, and as you can see, it's slightly browned on top and those blueberries will start to burst. So that'll be a good indicator as when it's time to pull it. I will say this, be sure to let these cool completely before cutting into them. They are very dense because you used, you know, that coconut flour and almond flour in place of regular flour. So just be sure to let them cool, and once they are cool, then you cut and you slice them, store them in the refrigerator for up to several days, and enjoy. As always, I hope you enjoyed the recipe. If you do try it out, you know, let me know what you think. Give me some feedback, and have a fantastic day.